My name's Thomas Waddle. This is a Whisky Sour Hour. It's been 2 weeks since the last episode, and obviously we've had the studio move. It might sound a little different now. We're still in the middle of setting things up. The move itself went really well. Everything's in place. Unfortunately, we're 2 days behind. It should have happened on the Friday, and it all happened on Monday this week. So it's almost held up everything regarding interviews that we had planned and stuff. But I didn't want to not have an episode for this week because, I'm anything if not honest, and we says we would have one, so here we are. Basically, this is just going to be a little update and just kind of tie in, basically seeing what's happening. We're at the changing of the seasons. We're going into that autumnal time, pumpkin spice season, which is the kind of catchphrase you hear these days, but it's arguably the best time. Spooky season. It's a winner for us all, really, before everything gets really crazy with the Xmas fever. So I just wanted to touch base and just see how everybody is. You might hear a little bit of fizzing. I am currently drinking a pink lemonade 7-Up Free, which is unbelievably good and highly recommend. It's that little taste of summer just kind of carrying over. Fanta lemon is too holiday like, and you only really have it when you're on holiday. It's too much, it overpowers you. So this is like a nice medium middle ground. With that being said, the ramble has started already. I do have a list that I'm looking at here, and I'm like, right, where do we begin? So, like I said, we have moved studios, much bigger space. It just allows for, better acoustics. It's going to have a larger area for interviews. Hopefully, can do more than one person at a time. The face to faces are great, but if you could do 2 or 3 at a time, it really does open it up. If anything, it's only going to improve. Obviously, the setup time, like I says, we're running 2 days behind. So this week it has to be this kind of truncated, shorter version. But as I say, it'll be worth it in the long run. So I just wanted to touch base. There's nothing like being consistent and showing up, and this is what this is. So with that kind of getting done, everything should be back to normal, starting no this week, the following week, and we can go for there. But I can't believe it was when I was looking at obviously what we've been doing recently. To be in our 30s when it comes to episodes is unreal. When I started this back at the beginning of the year, I thought I'd maybe do 10 and then be like, you know what, I've tried my best and I've done it and it's been fun. But to get to 30 and it just keeps pushing on, and it's no effort at all, and it's a lot of fun, and the feedback's always good. And when you're getting somebody coming to you saying, I listened to your episode regarding this and it was dead interesting, it got me into it, or that was just a good interview, and it's what it's all about. Self-gratification is what it's all about. Not at all. It's about having that just having that drive to kind of push on and at least say you've done it. So that's what this is. And if somebody gets an enjoyment out of it, if one person does, if one person takes anything away from this, that's what it's all about. So yeah, all going forward, we've got 3 interviews lined up. Ideally, get them knocked out and have them all ready to go for us. If you hear also kind of rumblings here, the room's that big that the dogs are allowed, like, no, that they weren't allowed in the other room, but they were on top of you, the other one. So I've got one who is currently cleaning her foot, and then the other one, Willow and Tally. Tally is obsessed with like shadows, and currently I'm moving, I think, with my hand here, so she is currently chasing the shadow, so I'm trying to be as very still as possible. So here I kind of clattering about, I've moved a bit too much, but obviously with everything going forward, yeah, we'll get the interviews back up. Just start, starting like going forward. It's just going to be an exciting time. Like I actually the irons that are in the fire at the moment, it's cool, and just stay posted. Out with that, it's been obviously with the house move. Sorry, I feel like I've been coming over. I had a cold about maybe 2.5 weeks ago, and I just feel like I'm not at the peak fitness yet. It's still just kind of lingering in the background. But yeah, it's just that time of the year, isn't it? I mean, as much as we love it, we just said that that there are cold and flus going around, and it can be a bit of a pain when you grab one. But out with that, like I say, the house move had been on the kind of cards for a wee while there, so I was trying to ideally get stuff in place to have it that there wouldn't have been the 2 week break. But the way it fell, it just these things happen. Look, we just have to deal with it and get on. But there's not really been much else like outside that working the day job. It's been quite kind of frantic, just trying to kind of get the house ready to move, do our reviewings, all that kind of stuff. So actually, like, having time to kind of go out, obviously you make time for the pie hole report, that's a given. But actually going, like, to the likes of the cinemas and stuff, and like just getting out and about, like going walks is one thing, but you want to kind of go out and have some fun. So with the move being done, it does open a lot of opportunities to be like, right, can't wait to get back to the cinema. I'm buzzing. By the time this goes up, Tron Aries will have been out, and I think when you look back over the podcast, we done an episode on like double features, and we spoke about Joseph Kosinski, who done Top Gun Maverick, who recently just done the F1 film. But to be honest, in my opinion, his magnum opus is Tron Legacy 2010. Just what a movie! Between the soundtrack, the visuals, I think it's sitting. I was disgusted when I saw it. It was, I think, a 51 on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that that's indicative of a good movie. We all know there's like absolute banger of comedies, like early Adam Sandler movies that really weren't highly rated, and Rotten Tomatoes means nothing. But the fact that, like, a 51, when you watch this movie, you're like, this is not a 51, and it seems to be that there has to be at least 10 years between sequels. So I think it was 25, or maybe 26 between the first and the second. So 15 years is getting less. Hopefully in the next 7.5 years we get a new one. But yeah, really excited to see that. 9 Inch Nails are doing the soundtrack, so Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. It's going to be an absolute banger. I've tripping over my words here. I need to just wait the whistle there. I've listened to the single, As Live As You Need Me To Be, which is unreal. But I'm trying to avoid the soundtrack. I don't want it to go in and like have spoilers. It sounds musical spoilers, as silly as that sounds. So I'm definitely going to be making time for that. I think it's one of those ones that you want to see on the biggest screen possible. So hopefully get a wee IMAX viewing in there. Although I'm getting a bit too partial to these reclining seats. So like the Paisley Showcase is, probably the comfiest cinema you're going to be in. Maybe the screens leave a little lacking. I remember when I saw Superman there, I was a little bit, just a wee bit disappointed. Just in the not the film itself, but in the kind of the view. I do enjoy like a right crisp, good sound and feel, and I felt like it was missing a little something. So if I can get an IMAX in there, and if it had like reclining seats, I'd be laughing. Hopefully with the Cineworld, the big Cineworld shutting down. Just a wee sidebar here, like when people are talking about it shutting down, I've led to believe it's been bought over by another cinema chain. So that when you're seeing all these clickbait articles like biggest cinema in the world shuts down, the one you click on it, but what they're not saying is that it's probably just going to be another cinema. I believe the company, is it Cineplex, I think they're called. It's an Irish company from what I'm told, and or what I've read. And they took over the old Empire at Clydebank, and I've heard nothing but good things about that cinema. So we shall see what comes of that, but they're taking the likes of the 4DX, the kind of shaking cinema. Saw F1 in that earlier in the year. Incredible. Maybe it's not the experience you go to see every movie, and I don't think Oppenheimer maybe with a suited 4DX, but they're moving all that to the Silverburn. So I was going to say Odeon, but Cineworld. So hopefully they get some maybe IMAX with some reclining seats, and we'll be laughing. But other than that, definitely going to see Tron Aries in IMAX. What else has there been? I think when we spoke, I've got down Alien Earth here. I think this was a list that I'd maybe done for a podcast a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, Alien Earth kind of finished up. I think it started a lot stronger than it ended, but that's kind of par for the course. It feeds into the likes of there's going to be a season 2 when it's not guaranteed, and I don't like that because I feel like Netflix is the worst for it. You know, you'll enjoy a show, maybe it doesn't hit the way Netflix wanted it to, and then they cancel it, and you're left with this cliffhanger, and it's just unsatisfactory. So I would, I hope Alien gets a season 2. I believe I was looking at the New York Comic Con, which is this week or weekend, and I was looking at that they have a panel there, so hopefully we get a little season 2 announcement. But remember back in the day, like Game of Thrones, it would, like season 1 would be like and like on, and it'd be like season 2's coming. So it's almost like you can rest easy. It's like watching the World Cup and England get put out at the group stages. You're like, I can now enjoy this. It's fine. Let's do it. I'm only joking. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, nothing against them. I just don't want to hear it for the next like millennia. Right now they're playing. I think they're beating Wales 3-0 as we record this. So Scotland are drawn. Last time I checked with Greece. Yeah, that's what it is. You know what? I'm no bitter. We're not going to get into that. That's fine. But yeah, no. Hopefully season 2 of Aliens announced. Just while I was, compiling some stuff just for information wise, just for the shows kind of coming up if we were having anyone on. I was on YouTube and there was a trailer for the next Game of Thrones spin-off, The Hedge Knight, I think it is. I've got the books because there's like it's 3 short stories. So I believe this is the first one. It's like Sir Dunk the Tall. It looks pretty good. I'm optimistic. It's a lot more colourful, and it's almost like a kind of. It's as close to a wacky comedy as you're going to get with Game of Thrones. So, January, it's looking quite good. I feel like this year has kind of flown by. The big thing, like obviously with the likes of the DC kind of stuff kicking off, and then with like Peacemaker coming out, I felt like every week, and with Alien, it was like 1 minute, it's August, next thing you know, you are like, oh, we're in the countdown to Christmas. Unfortunately, we have to start talking about that kind of stuff. But the reality is we are. I mean, we're nearly in, 10 weeks? That's crazy. 10 episodes to go. I mean, it's wild. So, yeah, like, Alien's been good. Finished a little weak, but like I say, if we get a season 2, hopefully they rectify that and it comes out swinging. Big one is, so as I say, I'm recording this on Thursday. I believe in America this gets shown at like 9, so it'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning here, but I won't watch it till I'm home. Peacemaker series finale is coming on. It's been superb. Episodes maybe a little too short, but then am I being greedy? I don't know. It's one of those shows that I love a weekly show, so you can ruminate and digest what's happened and think about it and get you excited for the next one. I would like to have binged this, and I mean that in the highest possible praise, because every week I was like, oh shit, I kind of want to know what's going on there. So, if season 2 finishes as strong as it started, then you're in for an absolute treat. The first season was amazing. In the way they retconned it, so that actually the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker season 1 actually fit into the new DC, even though it was in the old one. It works, and rightly so. The characters are amazing. John Cena is, like, I was always in the opinion, like, I like The Rock, but I was never like, he plays himself, and that's fine. I think his new film Smashing Machine, Sean Connery's in here. Smashing Machines came out, and it's not set the world on fire, but he's put in a good performance. That's fine. I think Batista was always, in my opinion, the best wrestler turned actor until John Cena started, stretching the muscles. We always knew he was funny. He can do action. His comedy timing has never been in doubt. But his dramatic chops are, in Peacemaker, when you watch a show that's as, I'm going to say it's as crass as what it is, and you're getting some scenes where you're actually like, oh my god, like, what is going on here? This is crazy. Absolutely outstanding. And so if you were ranking the 3 best wrestlers or turned actors, it's going to be John Cena at the top, then Big Dave, and unfortunately Dwayne Johnson at the bottom. The Rock's cool. Just I'd make a couple more Smashing Machines, and I'm sure the conversation will be had again. But right now, John Cena's at the top of the mountain, and like I say, Peacemaker finishes up this this week. I was also reading as well that Stranger Things season 5, the final season of this, which if it's successful, is it really going to be the final season? Probably not. The episodes are going to be between 90 minutes and 2 hours per episode. Now, I was a big fan. I'd actually just moved into my first house when season 4 had came out. That's how long it's been. I think, is that 4 years or something? So it was one of those ones where you're like, it was an event. Every episode was an event, and the way they're doing it this year, I believe, and it might have changed if Netflix are playing tricksy. It's Thanksgiving, so end of November, then Christmas Day, then New Year's Day. Man, that we're eating good if that's the case. So even if it was 2 episodes, so 6 episodes, 2 episodes each in each drop, I think you could be getting like 4 hours of entertainment potentially, or even 3 hours. So I'm all for it. Like I generally don't like binging, but when it comes to something like that, like you're going to be like, I'm ready for this, and for a fact the wait between the end of the first batch to the second batch to the third batch, that week is probably going to be a lot longer than those 4 weeks between Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be good. I don't know how they could get it wrong, but we've been proven wrong before. The Duffer Brothers generally never miss when it comes to the show. I think it's got better each year, and I'm sure people have their favourites, but that season with in fact, I'm talking nonsense. The last season was like an 8. I think the season before that, which would have been 3, was a 9. That was the kind of 4th of July, the mall opening up and the Russians kind of coming in. I liked that one. The big Terminator guy that was in it. It was good. But then they kind of obviously, somebody died, but then they didn't die, and you found out straight away. So there was no suspense with that. But we're complaining about little things here. But yeah, apart from Xbox almost imploding when it comes to hiking prices, it's gaming's been pretty quiet. I think everybody's. I'll be honest, I'm in a holding pattern right now. I'm trying to survive to May. That's the priority here. Survive to May. GTA 6 comes out, and there will be annual leave getting put in for that, which is it is what it is. It's a landmark when something costs potentially 1.5 billion. The greatest gaming series of all time. I'm going to be there, and I want to take it all in. So the annual leave will be in, the doors will be shut, the curtains will be closed, and potentially, there could be a monster, white monster preferably, getting downed to see this thing out. So listen, it's going to be good. So yeah, holding patterns all the way to May, unless it gets brought forward, which it never will be. But I imagine it dropped to like March. Maybe March 19, that'd be quite exciting. But yeah, as I say, just wanted to kind of touch base and just kind of go over where we stand right now with the show. Obviously, as I say, moving studios, huge. Going to be more interviews. It's going to be more videos as well. I'm looking to set up a camera kind of rig so that it is a bit more, I don't want to say professional, because I like to think I try and do this quite professionally, but I want it to be, I want to kick on. I feel like, if we're like, I don't know, like a Charmander, let's get us to a Charmeleon, you know what I mean? Eventually a Charizard if we're lucky, and then I think there's Mega Evolutions after that, but that would be getting silly. So, that's what it is. One more thing, just if you're looking for a really good comic, I would highly recommend the Trade Collection, which is like the first 4 or 5 stories from the Absolute series. So DC put out a reimagined, basically like Trinity. There is other characters, but Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman in the Absolute universe, which is basically like if our universe is like, you could argue it's not, but it's made by good energy. The Absolute Universe is made out of dark matter, dark energy, and so everyone's like just a little bit darker. And if you want something crazy, just look at the Mr. Freeze character art from Absolute Batman, and you see what I mean. But it's new takes on classic characters, and the Trinity, the three that I mentioned there, are really good. But Absolute Batman is absolutely unbelievably good, and I think this is the year. This is the time of year where you want to kind of hunker down, get a good book, and graphic novels are just as important, or comics. I'm not even going to. Comics are just as important as other books, if you ask me. These mythic characters that we're here with. I would highly recommend the Absolutes. And if you're wanting something a wee bit different, with Lanterns coming up in January, I think February time. Which actually, when you think about it, with the Game of Thrones coming out in January, I imagine Lanterns is going to be after that, so February, March time. That's quite a wee exciting time to be going. See, I'm already thinking, right, let's get to February, see what's happening there. If you want another book, you could. Jeff Johns' Green Lantern series is unbelievably good as well. 4 years of storytelling, it's feel like 05 to 09. Just knockout stuff that just lays little digs, little story nuggets that don't pay off to, maybe like 10 to 20 issues later. It's unbelievably good. But these have been my musings, and it's been fun back doing this. It's been 2 weeks where, for all there was time off work, obviously, to move. It's not what you would call relaxing. Any port in a storm, when there's no port, you're just getting battered with a storm. So the sleep is not as restful as it should be, but we're getting back to a bit of normality. It's so normal that the dogs are nice and relaxed in the room. I'm liking this. I like, maybe get an open fire. You can hear it hissing and crackling in the background. Man, this could be the new look for the Whisky Sour Hour. The 80s aesthetic's gone. It's the 18th century kind of halls with meat and mead. That'd be exciting. Maybe even older than that, I suppose. Mead's a bit. Anyway, I digress. It has been an absolute pleasure being back chatting, and obviously, if you want to get in touch, we've been off a quiet in the socials, but it's just because we have been that busy. And I think if I was to be posting while I should have been packing boxes or lifting boxes, I think Lauren probably would have killed me. So just to make sure that the show went on, I stuck to the rules. But if you want to follow us at the Whisky Sour Hour at Instagram and Facebook. If you want to get in touch, contact at TheWhiskySourHour.com. Very, very much, get the emails in. We've had a few recently, which have been lovely, and I really appreciate them. But yeah, that's how you get in contact with us. The sign-off is never as easy as it seems, but I've been Thomas Waddle. This has been the Whisky Sour Hour. Cheers.